Hello, my all dear students of English language and literature. I guess you have seen the title of postmodernist literature in all of your books and you've been wondering why, what is this? And you've been wondering why is this so boring? So today I'm gonna talk about postmodernism in English literature and I'm gonna help you to survive this terrible literature thing. So what actually is a postmodernism? You might think that postmodernism is actually some kind of a new thing of modernism. Actually, it is not. Postmodernism is just an extension of a modernism literature. So, you've been asking yourself, then what should it be, modernism literature? Everything started in 1920s of the last decade. Ages before that, the Queen Victoria was ruling England. She was terrible, she was rigid, and she controlled everything. She thought that literature was something bad, and literature is a sin. So, postmodernism, actually modernism, is just a movement against her and her rigid regime, and all the types of literature that existed in a period of her ruling England, so-called Victorian literature. So, modernism literature started in the ages of the 1910s, 1920s, and after that we have a postmodernism literature, which is actually, as I said, an extension of modernism literature. So, what are the major characteristics of postmodernism literature? Well, first of all, we have an unreliable narrators. Have you ever started reading any of Virginia Woolf's books and you've been wondering who is talking? What is this? Who is the narrator? First thing we have is unreliable narrator. Next thing, unrealistic plots. Things that happen, might happen, or have never happened before. Strange. That is the second thing that is important about postmodernism literature. The third thing is, it goes into the human psychology. So it means it analyzes everything that one protagonist thinks about, does, works, everything that is inside of one human's brain. As you can see in one of the most important postmodernism book is James Joyce Ulysses. And as I also said, it's a self-reference, so the characters, who are mostly narrators of all these books, they are talking about self-hate. They are criticizing themselves as they are inside of them. Talking about the English literature, two major authors started with this postmodernism era are James Joyce and Virginia Woolf. They are very important because, first of all, they hated each other. They hated each other so much. Virginia Woolf even wrote a note about how much she hates Ulysses, the most famous book from James Joyce. So, they were considered as the modernist writers, so basically they are modernist writers, but with the start of their own literature and their own books, that is the period when actually postmodernism started. So in the 1940s is the beginning of postmodernism literature, because both of them died in 1942, the same year. So, the most important books by Virginia Woolf is A Room of One's Own, To the Lighthouse, The Queen, the Acts, and Mrs. Dalloway. Mrs. Dalloway is one of the most important books because it's the book of the stream of consciousness, which is also Ulysses by James Joyce. Two most important stream of consciousness books. And one most important thing to say about postmodernism is that there is a so-called postmodernism Bible, and it's called Tristram Shandy, written by Lawrence Sterne in 18th century. So, see, postmodernism even confuses you ages before and ages after it existed. So, Lawrence Sterne wrote a postmodernist Bible 200 years before postmodernism ever existed. So, see, postmodernism is here to confuse you, but I'm here to explain you.